You're in the right place. This is the Veteran Small Business Resources and Opportunities in Montgomery County webinar. We'll begin in approximately 2 minutes. Excuse me, just giving people a chance to click in. We'll begin our webinar in about a minute. I'm just waiting for the rest of participants to click in. Okay, we're going to start our presentation. Good afternoon, or good morning rather, and welcome to the Veteran Small Business Resources and Opportunities in Montgomery County webinar. I'm Edward Torello, and I handle the webinar program for Bucks County. I'm going to give you just quickly a very brief commercial for SCORE, and then we'll proceed with the webinar. SCORE, as you know, is a nationwide organization of about 300 chapters and about 10,000 mentors who give their time freely for this endeavor. There's about, here in Bucks County, we have 70 members in our chapter. The mission of SCORE is very simple. It's to help small business either start one, expand, grow, recover if you had a problem, and most of all, to thrive. And we do this with a free mentoring service. Yes, it's free. You don't have to pay. And if you'd like to apply for a mentoring service, we will put in the chat the appropriate website to go to. You should know that this session will be recorded, and after the session, you'll receive a copy of the presentation along with the Q&A portion. Okay, that's pretty much our commercial. And now, as you can see on the screen, these are our presenters. Our first one will be Norm Phillips, who's, as you can see here, is a subject matter expert from the Bucks County SCORE chapter. The second one is Brigadier General Maureen Weigl, I believe, Deputy Adjutant General for Pennsylvania Veterans Affairs. Our third speaker is Pam Kelly, the President and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce of Greater Montgomery County. And our last speaker is Kaylyn Langdon, who's Senior Business Assistance Coordinator at the Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce. With that, I'm going to stop, turn it over to Norm, and let him begin it. Norm?
Thanks very much, Ed, and a couple of major thank yous right off the top. First of all, to the three presenters that you see on the screen right now. We really appreciate them taking time from their busy schedules to present their materials today. And a thank you to all of you veterans who have called in for this particular webinar. We really appreciate and respect everything that you did for your country and for all of us during your service. And the least we can do is try and help you in any way possible as you either start or grow an existing business. The agenda for this morning's presentation I just put up right now. I'm going to talk very briefly now in terms of just the introductions, but then we'll turn it over to Brigadier General Maureen Weigl, and really appreciate her calling in from, is it Harrisburg this morning, Maureen?
It is. Fort Indian
It
Town
is.
Gap behind me.
Thank you. And what Maureen's going to do is talk from a VA perspective, because she, after all, she is in charge of all 725,000 veterans in the state of Pennsylvania, and talk about what those statewide programs are that are available to you as veterans, principally those programs that are and benefits that are related to small businesses. What I'm going to do then is talk about what we've done in our chapter here at SCORE for veterans, and what I've put the past couple of years of my retired life into developing to assist veterans. The Chamber of Commerce of Greater Montgomery, Pam Kelly is the president and CEO, and I believe, Pam, that's the very largest Chamber of Commerce in Montgomery County. Am I correct in saying that?
That is correct. Yep,
Yeah.
that is correct.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And then Kaylyn Langdon, someone I had an opportunity to meet a few months ago, and we worked together recently on another program to help veterans establish small businesses in Montgomery County. And her Commerce Department team and colleagues are very committed to veterans as well. We want to make sure that we leave some time at the end of the program for Q&A. And maybe what we could do, Charlie, if you wouldn't mind coming off mute and just telling the group a little bit about how you'd like them to handle questions as we're going through the program.
Yes, so we would like you to put your questions into the Q&A. The chat is open, but and then at the end, Ed Torello will pick up the questions from the Q&A and feed them to the panel. Okay.
Thank you, Charlie. So I learned a long time ago, when people are going to be good enough to give up, in this case here, an hour and a half of your time today to come into a program, it's incumbent on we who are putting the program on to make sure that it's a good resource and a good use of your time. And so what I'm going to do is frame out the 4 major objectives that our panel put together for today. And here's what we want to do. It's almost, think of it as you're a veteran wanting to either start or grow a small business in Montgomery County. And what are all of the different resources, things that are available to you to help make that go? And hopefully what you're going to learn today is there's a lot more than you were even aware of. And there's really a lot of groups and people dedicated and committed to wanting to help veterans be successful with these small businesses in Montgomery County. So the 4 objectives are, first of all, as mentioned, Maureen is going to take everyone through what are the programs offered through Veterans Affairs. You can see the alphabet soup there. Probably some of those B2B, boost to business, probably look familiar. And Maureen's going to talk about what they offer and how you can access them if you would like to get further involved with those programs. Then I'm going to go through what we've developed here at SCORE. As Ed mentioned a minute ago, we have free of charge mentoring, resources, educational programs, et cetera. I'll take you through those in detail. Then Pam Kelly will take you through what her group offers in terms of networking and educational opportunities that are available through the chamber. And then finally, Kaylyn will talk about how she and her team can help get you smarter and better equipped to understand what's available for small businesses in Montgomery through the County Commerce Department. So at the end, we'll circle back and you'll let us know whether or not we were successful in achieving all 4 of those objectives. Okay, at this point, what I'd like to do is to turn over the presentation to Maureen. I learned a long time ago from Maureen when we started working together that I said, what should I refer to you as? It was like I was meeting with the Queen. And I wanted to make sure I used the right title. And I asked her, and she said, no, Norm, because you're not a member of the military, you don't have to refer to me as Brigadier General. So I get away with just calling her Maureen. But Maureen has been a tremendous resource to what we've been doing at our chapter here in SCORE to help veterans. And you've got a wonderful representative there in Harrisburg. Maureen, let me turn it over to you.
Thank you. You can go to the next slide. Good morning, everybody. It's really nice to meet you. As you can probably tell, I am not the Montgomery County Veteran Affairs Office. I'm with the State Veteran Affairs. I'm going to give you a little overview before I jump into all the topics while we're here on the mission statement. Pennsylvania is one of 5 states where the Office of Veteran Affairs falls under the Adjutant General, Major General Pippi. He runs the Army Guard, the Air Guard, and he is the Veteran Affairs. In other states, the Veteran Affairs Office is sometimes a separate cabinet member to the governor, but we have direct access to the governor, and we work with all of the other sister agencies to provide resources. One of my main jobs, besides running 6 long-term care facilities for veterans, is working on outreach. So we train and work with all of the county directors. There's 67 counties in Pennsylvania. Every county has an office of Veteran Affairs to help you access many resources. And most of them have the same mission statement that you are seeing here for what Montgomery County Veteran Affairs Office. Additionally, we work with all of your service organizations, your American Legions, VFWs, AMVETS, DAVs, and we make sure we train all of their veteran service officers so that they can assist you, whether you're at the American Legion or at a county office. You'll get the same consistent level of care and opportunities for referrals. And a lot of the programs we work with is covered in the next few slides, but it's bigger than just employment and outreach. It's really helping you access all of your local resources. So when you leave active duty, many times, you think the VA is just the VA hospital and healthcare and paying your claims and benefits or your GI Bill. That's what the federal government provides, but then we work together to provide you tons of resources in your local community. So that's really what my office tries to do, is make sure you have access to all of the resources. When it comes to employment, economic development, I'll tell you the Department of Labor and Industry in Pennsylvania is very active with their career links, their job centers, and their small business office to make sure you have access to all of these amazing programs I'm going to highlight really quickly. So I'll go to Boots to Business first, because that's what we're here to talk about. So before I get into all of this, I want to let you know, if you transitioned off active duty already and you didn't take the Boots to Business class, that's okay. Those are offered while you're going through transition. Usually when you leave active duty now, they'll say, hey, if you're going to go on to do employment and look for jobs, go into these classes. If you want to go to college, take these courses and we'll help you get signed up for school. If you want to start a small business, you'll take a Boots to Business course while you're there. Carlisle Barracks in Pennsylvania offers these, and Jeff Hanks will allow veterans, Guard and reservists to join those, even if you're not transitioning. But fear not, because if you've already transitioned like I did and you're like, hey, I want to start a business, you can do all of this virtually. The SBA office has these 2-day person facilitated meetings and classes spread out regionally. Whether it's in Pennsylvania, you might have to go to Maryland. They have these courses available to you, so you can go online to the SBA website and you can look for where the next courses are. So basically, this just really helps you get your foot in the door to learn how to start a business. And it could be very intimidating for all of us when you're on active duty and you're used to having a paycheck every 2 weeks to say, oh my goodness, I'm going to leave the military, leave all those benefits behind, and I'm just going to start my own business. It's overwhelming, it's daunting, and it's challenging. So this program tries to help you see where you are, see if you can start the option, and really groom you on the steps. And I know SCORE is going to come in afterwards and tell you how they can really go in and help you be successful once you make that jump. But there are programs to help you, and you can take them whether you're in, and your spouses can take them. You can go to the next one. So the Reboot program is really to help you network. If you start your small business, the next step is you want to grow your small business. So the federal government has invested a Veterans Business Outreach Center located at Penn State University, and it's really designed to help veterans start and grow your business and do counseling and assistance. And again, the big part is networking. So it's a great program, great new program that we just have in Pennsylvania, and we're one of a handful of states that has a VBOC now to help you. But really, we want to make sure that you're successful. In addition to these programs with Boots to Business Reboot, there are tons of other opportunities. You can go to the small business website and they can talk to you about and show you all the resources that the state has. Syracuse University, the Institute for Military Veteran Families, It's IVMF. They have multiple programs. They have the Boots to Business option for you that you can do virtually. They have VY specifically for female veterans that want to start a business and do small business networking. They have a program called Strive. And they also just bought out and incorporated Bunker Labs. All of those programs are free to you and your spouse to help you start your own small business, to help you look at being an entrepreneur, looking at franchising options to see where your interests are and then how we can help you. And there's legal support and there's LinkedIn and networking support. So I would absolutely encourage you, even if you have a business, to go onto those resources and those websites to see how you can take advantage of some information you may not have had, free legal counsel, and to figure out how do we move forward with my company. If you're struggling in certain areas, how do you market? How do you market without a big budget? And for franchising, how do you use and gain the funds to start a franchise? There's a lot of successful veterans that are in Montgomery County that are thriving as small business owners. Pennsylvania and the Philadelphia area also has the best Philadelphia Veterans Business Network. It's called the Greater Philadelphia Veterans Business Network. I have met them numerous times, and I would encourage you, once you start your program and you use SCORE and you use other resources, network as often as you can in those organizations and those groups. It is key to growing your business. In addition to what I do full-time, taking care of the veterans in Pennsylvania, when I left active duty, I started my own business. And it took me a while to figure out how to build my LLC and be able to get my DUNS number and SAM's number and be able to start navigating government contracting. But once you got through the startup process, it was relatively easy to get your business up and going. And there were so many people that wanted to partner with a woman-owned or a veteran-owned or a service-disabled veteran-owned small business. So getting those certifications and those labels are really valuable to you. And you can do all of that through the Pennsylvania Small Business Office. You can go on there and you can register. You never have to pay. Sometimes when you go out to SAMS and you want to do SAMS.gov, immediately some other websites will pop up and ask you for money. All of this is free to get your license and get your business registered as a veteran-owned small business or a small business. So I would definitely encourage you to do all of that. You can go to the next slide there. This last program is a 6-week live online classroom delivered through a partnership with Mississippi State University. Again, the B2B whole concept and all the way through the reboard is to help you from the idea you might have had that maybe I want to start a business to making sure you're up and successful. And there is a lot of resources available to you, and this is no cost. So this particular program and this 6-week class is through Mississippi State University. I mentioned Syracuse is another university that has programs available to you. Again, no cost, very similar. They both will walk you through the whole B2B process. And as you see on this last slide, the Veterans Business Outreach Centers, SCORE, Small Business Development Centers, Women's Business Centers, as well as the Greater Philadelphia Business Network is all available to you. The governor is very interested in helping, Pennsylvanians stay here in Pennsylvania and thrive. We want to make sure you have all of the resources you need. And I think SCORE is you're definitely your point of contact to access all of these resources, as well as my office and Montgomery County Director of Veteran Affairs Office, which I will talk about on the next slide. So I kind of mentioned what we do with our outreach. So just so you know, if you've transitioned off active duty, if you've not done all your claims and benefits to see if you qualify for VA healthcare and for service-connected disability, please reach out to the Montgomery County Veterans Office. Besides doing real estate tax exemption, shuttle services, and helping you get burial benefits, they have access to help you do your claims and benefits to make sure you're getting all of the healthcare and the resources that you need. And it's really important that you do that. Outside of Philadelphia, we also have 2 long-term care homes. Pennsylvania, we have 6 long-term care facilities for veterans. That might not be something you need, but it's nice to know if you have aging parents or aunts and uncles. that might need long-term care. If they are a veteran or a spouse of a veteran, they can have those facilities. And the county director's office is your one-stop shop to learn about all of the resources that you might need in Montgomery County. And if you're not on Montgomery County, that's fine. On our website at dmva.pa.gov, we have the phones and contact information to every county in Pennsylvania. So we're happy to help you connect. I think this is great that you're doing this. I will tell you, as a business owner myself, taking advantage of every resource, even if you think you're being successful and you don't need the help, just benefits you. And you always learn something from all these courses and these conversations. Every time I talk to folks down in Philadelphia's business network or Norm with SCORE, I learned so many new ideas. And I just think you should all take advantage of everything you can. I'm going to stay on to answer questions at the end. I gave you a one of the world, but please reach out to SCORE and to my office if you need help navigating all the resources available. The nice thing is there's a lot of resources available. The bad thing, there's a lot of resources available, and sometimes you might not know which ones are the best for you. But all the B2B programs are the same, and all those other programs they offer are very complementary of, helping you out. So please let me know. And if you're looking for other certification programs, we can help you with all of those as well. So thanks, Norm, for inviting me. I hope I gave the highlight you wanted to. There's a lot of links we can add on to make sure you have access to where to get the small business link and the Syracuse University and Mississippi State University programs available to you. We can get those to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Maureen. That was terrific. And Charlie, with the technology knowledge that you have, I'm sure there's a way that we can get those links posted after the call and make them available to all of the folks that are on the webinar right now. Is that fair to say? Charlie, you're on mute right now.
Yes, Norm, that's fair.
Okay, terrific. Thank you. All right, what I'm going to do now is shift over to SCORE. And Maureen, thank you so much for your kind words regarding how your group and SCORE have been collaborating, in particular over these past couple of years. It's really been wonderful. And one of the questions that I get asked a lot, since I'm heading up the Veterans Initiative and we call it Bucks County, that's the SCORE chapter name. It does encompass Eastern Montgomery as well. And then we have another colleague chapter of ours called Tri-County, which picks up the rest of Montgomery County. So you don't have to worry about where our boundary lines are. When you enroll, you can see the click on there for request a mentor to score.org. When you come in there, if you put your zip code in, you'll just automatically get aligned with a SCORE mentor who is geographically close to you. One of the questions I get asked about, I'm starting to mention that with the work that I've been doing with veterans over the past couple of years, I made a decision when I retired that I was going to treat volunteering as a full-time job and make the same kind of commitment to it. It was just a matter of who I was going to do that for and with. And I was very moved when I read about the challenges that too many veterans are having right now as they transition out of active duty into civilian life after they've served their tour of duty. And so I looked into it further and saw that veterans were indicating that yes, PTSD and other types of mental health disorders are certainly a challenge, but there was even a larger group that said that the biggest challenge they were facing was being successfully oriented towards a career in civilian life after they transitioned out of the military. And so when I dug in on that, I thought these are people that really, really need to get whatever assistance that we can provide. You served us, now we serve you. This is a picture that I have up over my computer monitor every morning when I come into work. And when I saw this, I said, this is gonna every morning is going to reorient me to why I'm doing what I'm doing. So again, thank you to all of you for the service and the duty that you provided to our country. Mentioning some of the data, only about a third of veterans in this survey indicated that they found it pretty easy to transition into civilian life. They tended to be people who were working in an area of their military service that was somewhat transferable into civilian life. examples of this could be someone who wanted to become an airline pilot, and that's what they were doing in the military. Someone who's a mechanic on vehicles could take that and transfer it over. But about 2/3 of people said they found it extremely difficult to make that transition for a lot of different reasons. And I'm sure those of you on the phone today could tell us what some of those reasons are. And so the other thing I saw was in terms of employment, it wasn't that the unemployment rate was higher for veterans. It's about the same as non-veterans. It's they're underemployed because too many folks didn't have something transferable coming out of their military service. But on the other hand, small businesses seem to be a great alignment for many veterans. Here's some data that supports that. Veterans are in the 5 to 6% of the US population range, but they own 10% of small businesses. In other words, they're about double represented. That's really significant. And then Maureen mentioned franchises, even stronger data there, just about 3 times as many veterans have franchises as what they represent as a percentage of the population. Now, are these veteran-owned businesses successful? Well, there's just about 2 million veteran-owned businesses across the country, employing over 5 million Americans. That's creating jobs for others and generating over $1 trillion in annual revenue. And the other thing that was impressive is not far off of half of veteran-owned businesses generate over $500,000 in annual revenue. There's some more information that talks about how well veterans can do. When a group did a survey, the Institute for Veterans and Military Families a couple of years back, they asked a very simple and important question to veterans. Do you consider yourself successful, whatever success means to you, in your small business? And it was very, very heartening to see that 85% of those veterans in the survey said, yes, we do consider ourselves successful in the small business that we run. Let's look at how that compares to the population as a whole. 20% fail in the first year, nearly half, 45% in the first 5 years, and nearly 2/3 in the first 10 years. So clearly veterans are doing much, much better than the general population. Now, there's a way that you can even increase that success rate further. Just taking people who own small businesses as a whole, if you took that figure from a minute ago that said 45% don't survive or only survive in the first 5 years, if you break it down to people who have mentors or don't have mentors, there's a staggering difference. Twice as many people who have small businesses and work with a mentor, twice as many survive over the first 5 years as those that don't have mentor. So just imagine the success rate of veterans with mentors. And that's why we're on this webinar with you today, is to show you the value that we can bring along with our other colleagues on the webinar to you as being mentors in your small businesses. So in general, small business owners have determined that mentors are very successful. Some data that appeared in Forbes magazine, over 9 out of 10 small business owners said that mentoring programs directly and positively impacted the growth and survival of their business. Those are great odds. And 93% say there is value in business mentors, but only 28% of small businesses use a mentoring service, and 89% of the people that don't use mentors say they wish they did. So we've got a big disconnect. People understand in small business that mentors are valuable. They see the value they bring, but only about 1 in 4 are actually using a mentoring service. We dug into that to determine why, and here's the reason, plain and simple. They don't know where to find a skilled mentor. Well, that's where we can help with what we can provide through SCORE. Our mentoring, as Ed mentioned earlier on, is completely free of charge. We sign a code of ethics. We can't even take a slice of pizza from somebody opening up a pizza shop through our code of ethics. It's 100% no cost. And we not only provide a single lead mentor, but many cases we use co-mentors because different skills and different knowledges are required in building a business. So what are our boots on the ground? How many mentors do we have out there? Nationally, we have over 10,000 volunteer mentors right across the nation. And as mentioned earlier, we have 70 right here in Bucks County. And that serves, as mentioned, Montgomery County, along with one of our other SCORE chapters in Tri-County. So we have the firepower and the boots on the ground to be able to answer the challenge when you request a mentor. What else do we offer besides the free mentoring is webinars like the one that you're on right now, and workshops. And these local ones are generally all free. It's more the in-person larger ones where there's a nominal cost for it. But just last year alone, we had over 600,000 SCORE workshop attendees. The other thing that these resources offer to you is our online library. You actually don't even have to be a registered client of SCORE's. You can go after this call. You see the website in the bottom left-hand corner, score.org. You'll see up at the top a little tab called resources. There's apparently over 1,000 collections of guides, templates, checklists, videos, the whole 9 yards. And they're extremely helpful in what you can use to start your own small business. So what I'd like to do now is talk about what we've developed here in Bucks County, and this now has been rolled out across the state in Pennsylvania and also right across the nation as well, so that veterans in other parts of the country can benefit from this resource guide. So what we did was we took our SCORE resources that were applicable to veterans, and then our partner SBA, Small Business Administration, looked at their resources and pulled out the ones and curated them or selected them that were specific to help veterans. And so what this is, let's think of it as a playbook or a guide that lets our SCORE mentors work with you as a veteran with the materials that are most applicable to you. There's a variety of different types of webinars, courses, and articles that are contained. I'll refer to a few of them this morning here. And there's 9 of these SCORE resources that are in the resource guide for veterans that were specifically developed for use by veterans. They're very specific. And there's also a section on veteran funding opportunities through the SBA or the VBOC that Maureen mentioned earlier in her presentation. I worked in marketing during my career, and one of the things I learned was the value and the importance of market research. Just because I thought something might be a good idea in my head didn't necessarily mean that it would work as a resource guide in mentoring veterans. So the first group that we market research tested this with was veterans like yourself and veterans leadership, people like Maureen Weigl and others in the Philadelphia area, and got their feedback, made adjustments, and changed the material accordingly. Now, I knew that this was going to need to be delivered up by SCORE mentors, so that was the next group that I went to, SCORE mentors and leadership. People like Charlie on this call today, and we've had this reviewed as well by people who head up our district and even the region, the Mid-Atlantic region that we're a member of. Next, I took it out to the SBA and VBOC leadership teams to get their feedback on it. And finally, chambers of commerce, people like Pam, and economic development groups, people like Kaylyn and her associates that we work with as well. So what's this look like? Well, the first thing that we'll talk about here is what we call the roadmap for success. And I put a disclaimer on based on feedback that I got doing the market research that these activities don't have to occur in the roadmap order that you see right here. They can be reordered to meet a specific need. But the most important thing is that all 10 of these are here. And I'll tell you how I knew that I was barking up the right tree was when we got this put together, and there's probably been 50 different iterations, but when we finally got this one put together, and I took it to some veterans who had been in business for a couple of years. And here's the feedback I got from them. They'd say, "Hey, Norm, this is great, but where were you 3 years ago when I needed you? I know now, 3 years later, that I needed to do all 10 of these things, but I probably didn't do more than about 3 or 4 of them in the beginning. I didn't know that I should be forming an LLC. I didn't know that I needed liability insurance in case my business got sued. I didn't want to lose my own personal possessions, my house and car and everything else and so on. Staffing. I was starting a seasonal business and I didn't realize that I needed to look at seasonal staffing levels different than full-time 365-day staffing, and got myself into some trouble there. So that's why we lay out this roadmap, is to make sure that we can hit with you on each of these key points that are relevant and applicable to starting your own business up. So we are able to help in all stages of business life cycle. Ed mentioned a little bit about this at the beginning. We often tend to focus on starting a business, and there's 3 different ways you can start a business. You can build it from scratch, and we're going to talk about that. But you can also buy an existing business. Maybe there's a business in your area that the person who is the current owner wants to retire. That's a perfect opportunity for you to walk in and purchase an existing business. They've got a customer base, they've got goodwill, hopefully, in the company name and reputation. And it's a way to get a start, get up and running very quickly. And then we also talked about buying a franchise. We'll talk a little bit about more on that. When we looked at our own client base, we found an interesting thing. Actually, about half of the people we were working with, we helped them start the new business. But the other half of the people already had a business started and in place, but they wanted to grow it more successfully. Perfect. We walk in and do that exactly the same way. And then occasionally we have people who are interested in selling a business, whether it's due to retirement or they want to focus on something different. And they often don't realize the value that that small business has and let it just wither away. Much better instead to take it and sell it to someone who's wanting to start a business and get them rolling at that point. So in terms of building a new business from scratch, this would be an example of the resource material that we would use with you. And what makes this so valuable is this is veterans talking to veterans. So the questions that get asked in this particular webinar are from people like yourself who are contemplating, thinking about maybe they want to start a new business, but they got some questions, they got some concerns, they've got some issues. Who's answering it? A veteran who's already started their own business up, and will give them very, very salient points in understanding it. It's a terrific webinar. It's an hour and a half long, and the mentor would use that in conjunction with working with a person looking to start a new business from scratch. Now, what about instead if you're a person that wants to buy an existing business? What are the things you need to be aware of there? There's a lot of potential pitfalls and a real need to do significant due diligence before buying that business to make sure, A, that it makes sense for you, B, that the terms make sense for you as well. We have a couple of top experts in our chapter who worked in their careers before retiring in buying and selling businesses. And they could be either a lead mentor or a co-mentor and work with you on helping to make sure that you do the appropriate due diligence in buying that new business. In terms of buying a franchise, like everything in life, there's pros and cons. And there are some real good reasons for looking at that, but it's not for everybody and may not be priced for everybody out of the gate. But on the other hand, for people who can make that move, it's a great track to run on. And we have a 1-hour webinar that we offer up here on buying a franchise or starting a new business. You can have a choice. Something that we found is a group called VetFran out there. And this is a terrific opportunity for veterans who want to buy a franchise. It's been in business now for just about 25 years and is sponsored by the International Franchise Association, IFA. It's a huge organization with over 600 franchise systems. And just in the past number of years, there's been more than 6,500 veterans who've purchased a franchise through VetFran. And here's a good reason for doing it. They have negotiated reduced franchise fees for veterans, typically in the range of 10 to 25% discounts. And that's huge. And those franchisors who companies provide specialized training and mentorship for veterans. And so I've included the website here. You can go in and take a look at that. I know recently we were working with a veteran who wanted to purchase a franchise in a selling tools on a mobile basis. And he was looking at going with one organization and purchasing that franchise. Found out they do not participate in the Vet Fan program, but one of their competitors does, and offered a very significant discount to the veteran to jump in and work with them. So that was something that really worked out well. There's also significant funding opportunities that are available for veterans. And there are business grants. They're sometimes challenging and require a lot of paperwork to get, but there are opportunities out there. But there's also other funding opportunities that are reduced interest rate loans and so on. And between ourselves and the SBA, we're able to help veterans find the most advantageous types of funding that they can get. Marketing, what I did for a living, and this is really something, a huge missed opportunities for veterans is marketing their goods and services to other veterans. And when they're purchasing themselves various types of goods and services to run their own veteran business, why not, where you can, do business with another veteran? So this really takes the listener through the different types of opportunities that are available to take advantage of out there. Now, what about growing a small business? Well, we also have an article specific for veterans and growth strategies to help them. Some of the things I mentioned a minute ago about networking with other veterans, about promoting yourself as a veteran-owned business, they can be of real value as well. Something that Maureen mentioned a little bit earlier are opportunities if you go through and get a VOSB, or veteran-owned small business certification. And again, there certainly is paperwork involved with it, but we're there to help you along with other groups that you're hearing from today. Once you've got that certification, you're then able to bid on various types of contracts that are applicable to your business operation that are purchased by the federal government. And there's a thing called set-asides. Each year, a very significant amount of money is set aside as contracts that can only be awarded to veterans because of the commitment the federal government has to assisting veterans be successful in their small businesses. So in summary, I want to wrap this up to give both Pam and Kaylyn an opportunity to go through their presentations. There's three key things that we offer at SCORE. First and foremost, the free mentoring. You saw the data earlier. You work with a mentor, your chances of being successful are immediately doubled. And I love those odds every day of the week. So that's something you can get very easily by going to our score.org website. Secondly, the library of online resources. I just touched on a few of them today. You can access them yourself. You can work with your mentor who will help you, what I call weed the garden, and get to the most valuable and successful ones. And then you can also enroll and be notified of all of the local and regional webinars that are offered through SCORE, and ones like today that you can register for. The vast majority of them are free of charge, and you can get them as well. So if you've got any questions, please put them in the chat room. When we get to the Q&A section, we'll be glad to answer them. And what I would like to do is thank you for your time and attention and your service to our country. I'm going to turn it over now to Pam Kelly, who is the 12 or 13-year president and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce for Greater Montgomery County. And she'll talk about what her chamber can do to assist you as veterans in building a successful business here in Montgomery County. Pam, over to you.
Thank you, Norm, and welcome everyone. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to be part of this presentation and for the invitation from SCORE. I want to tell you a little bit about the Chamber and the programs that we have available for members and ways you could get involved. So first of all, I wanted to tell you about the Chamber. We are a 112-year-old organization. We are not-for-profit membership association. We were founded and still currently based in Lansdale. And there's actually 10 chambers of commerce in Montgomery County. It is an opportunity for these organizations to form in areas that there is an interest by a group of businesses. So over the years, again, there are now 10 of us. We have the distinguished of being the largest and the most active chamber in Montgomery County. There are not geographic boundaries. So a business can join any chamber that they choose. It's usually often on where the business is located, where their primary service area is, as well as the programs and services that are of interest to the business. Currently, we have over 800 members, which includes about 80 nonprofits, many entrepreneurs, and all size organizations up to large corporations. An interesting fact, though, is of those 800, about 70% are actually 20 businesses with 25 and under employees. So we are really a great fit for very small businesses as well as startups. And a lot of our programs and services are directed towards those size organizations. We do, even though we're throughout the county, a good part of our service area is along the Route 309 corridor. We also extend into Horsham, Conshohocken, King of Prussia, and Plymouth Meeting. But again, within about 30 municipalities is where our primary service area is located. We always encourage members to get involved. We are governed by a board of directors, and under the board, there are a number of committees, all based on interest by the members. So we have a young professionals committee, we have a government affairs, we have an inclusion council, a women's group, and we also have a veterans and military committee. Again, any member is welcome to participate. Our Veterans and Military Committee is made up primarily of veterans, veteran-owned businesses, and those that are employed by some of our businesses. The committee is really active. We've been working with the local VFW here in Lansdale, and also on an annual basis, we put together a program for our police departments to thank them for all that they do to help us keep our businesses and personal lives safe. One of the things that we've recently started was a discounted membership dues for our veteran startup businesses. And this is for any startup business, veteran owned, that works through SCORE. So if you are working with SCORE, starting a business, and are interested in joining the chamber, please do reach out to us. It's $180 per year. And it gives you access to all of the benefits that any of our businesses have. So there's no restrictions, but we want to help you get started. We want to give you a chance to be able to get out, network, participate in our programs, and not have the burden of the regular dues cost for you until you're up and running. So we would hope that if you are interested, you would reach out to take advantage of that discounted program. And our mission statement is listed there. Our goal really is to help grow the business community, strengthen our members through networking events, and community engagement. So, Norm, thank you. We are proud to be working with SCORE. I think it's a natural fit. SCORE has amazing benefits and amazing resources. And through the chamber, we partner with SCORE that gives the businesses an opportunity, as you can see, to become their own boss, succeed as a business owner and entrepreneur, working on business plans, marketing plans. And as you have heard, SCORE is a volunteer organization that consists of members with many years of experience providing free confidential counseling. We have had SCORE representatives participate in speaking engagements for us, in seminars and individual programs. And it's been just a nice benefit that all members have been able to take advantage of. So we are really thrilled to be able to have that relationship and work with the SCORE mentors. So what are the benefits? Why join? Again, everything that the chamber does is about networking. connecting businesses together. You may find referrals, you may find strategic partners, you may find resources that you need, your accountant, your lawyer. We found that a lot of businesses have found friends. It's a nice opportunity to just share the challenges of owning a business. And we have a business owners coffee that we put together so business owners can get together and just kind of share those conversations and look for ways to continue to grow their businesses. We've looked to schedule our events in the morning, at lunchtime, and after hours so that we could accommodate the schedules of all different businesses and the approach that individuals like to take with regard to their networking. A lot of our events are held here at the Chamber's office in Lansdale. However, we also move throughout our service area, whether it's venues for conferences, lunch and learns, or just for some fun events. We've gone out and played pickleball. We've gone to tour manufacturers. We've gone to breweries. We've also gone to a candy factory and enjoyed watching candy being made here. So everything we do, again, is focused around networking, but we try to make it fun. We have monthly, quarterly educational programs on all different topics of interest that are provided by business professionals. This is where we have had the benefit of working with SCORE mentors. We also primarily look to chamber members to provide these programs. We've got a wealth of knowledge, whether it's financial, marketing, consulting, operations, leadership, and it's been great to have members educate members. And so these have been very, very well received. Again, as the more involved you are in the chamber, obviously the more people you meet, the more relationships you develop. We have had just strong response to folks that have gotten involved, and we understand your business is your first priority, but if you could dedicate one event, one time during the month to come to a chamber event, that will give you that opportunity to really start making those connections. And what we've found is that once you're a member of the chamber, those folks that you meet really want to help you build your business, and they will refer you and introduce you and do everything that they can. It has really been an amazing community to watch being built. So a number of the events that we have, I don't need to back up, but I did want to just share one of the other programs that we have is we created a group called Business Partnership Network. We created that about 12 years ago. And you may be familiar or have heard of organizations like a BNI or a LATIP, where these are small groups that get together on a weekly basis. It's one representative per industry. They meet weekly, they work on referrals and really supporting one another. And the Chamber has 5 what we call business partnership networks. And they're spaced throughout different chapters within our service area. They'll either meet at morning or at lunchtime. And we've got about 80 members that participate in the BPN groups. And this has been just another way that the businesses can really support one another with referrals and education. So that could be something that would be of interest if you were interested in joining the chamber. So I'm sorry, Norm, I can go back to the signature events. We have a number of signature events throughout the year. We work with PA CareerLink and Monco Works for an annual job fair that is held in April every year at the Plymouth Meeting Mall, and that has been a great opportunity for folks to find employment, or once you have your business, to be able to have a table and recruit for new employees. Every year in August, we join the Lansdale Founders Day with a health fair, which is open to any health-related business to have a table and have an opportunity to participate in that event. 3 years ago, we started a Minority and Small Business Summit that puts together a half-day program providing resources for small businesses that including funding, grant opportunities, looking at marketing, programming, marketing on a budget, and also an opportunity for small businesses to get to network with one another. And that's a half-day program that's held at Montgomery County Community College. As a chamber made up of all of these great businesses, we need to celebrate ourselves. And so once a year, we will have a gala and award celebration recognizing leaders in business throughout the county with recognition for Business of the Year, an Entrepreneur of the Year, and different distinguished service awards. And that's usually held in November. We also have a celebration of community, and this we just had this 2 weeks ago. It is always a great day to recognize our nonprofit organizations and individual for their community service, a company for their corporate philanthropy, and we also have a Hometown Hero Award. This was started 5 years ago to recognize an active duty member who came back from a tour of duty, and it really just made us appreciate all of the dedication and sacrifice that our veterans give to the community, or for us, and through their time away. And so we created the Hometown Hero Award in honor of Kyle. And each year we recognize either a veteran, an active duty business owner or representative, or someone from law enforcement. And so that is a great event that's held every June. Again, we like to have fun, so we have a golf outing. It's going to actually be this Thursday. Hopefully it doesn't rain. And we have a 9 Wine and Dine, which is a 9-hole event that we hold in September. And lastly, our annual event, we have a Power Your Potential Montgomery County Women's Conference, about 300 attendees, open to men and women. It's held at Normandy Farms. It's a full day with breakout sessions, keynotes, awards, and again, all around the opportunity to bring folks together for networking. So that's it. I could go on for probably 20 or 30 minutes to tell you all about the Chamber, because it is just an amazing organization, but that is it in a summary. Again, I wanted to thank SCORE for the opportunity to be part of this program, and our Senior Program Director, Kim Wen, whose contact information on here would be your best contact. If you are interested in more information, you're welcome to come out and test drive us, attend an event, and just see what you think, or give us a call. And if there's any way that we can help you along your journey of starting your business, or once you get started, we would love to chat with you, and wish you all the best. And thank you for joining today, because your interest is showing that there's more entrepreneurs that we have coming into Montgomery County. So thank you.
Thanks very much, Pam. That was terrific. And I think everybody on the webinar can see the tremendous resources that you and your group are going to make available to anyone joining in. So thank you. And Kaylyn, let's talk about your group. And I was amazed when we worked on the earlier program to just see what types of resources you have available to really make small business owners smarter in operating in Montgomery County. So take it away.
Thanks, Norm. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. I am Kaylyn Langdon. I am the Senior Business Assistance Coordinator with the Montgomery County Commerce Department. So let me get started with a quick overview of the department. We take a unified approach to both economic development and workforce development. We believe both need to be equitable and accessible to all here in Montgomery County. And that means that we have to bring together multiple entities and partners, whether you're starting, growing, or reimagining your business. So as you can see here on the chart, our Commerce Department is made up of 3 authorities. I'm just going to quickly go over them just so you have a point of reference of what each is and what they do. So first is our Montgomery County Industrial Development Authority. We term that IDA, which in economic development, there's a lot of acronyms, just a heads up. The IDA provides tax-exempt bonds for large-scale projects throughout Montgomery County. They generally work with higher education, local municipalities, nonprofits, manufacturers to help provide the financing they need for their projects. The next one is the Montgomery County Redevelopment Authority, termed RDA. They mainly work with our municipalities to stimulate economic growth and revitalization. They also work with businesses to attain public funding for their projects. So whether you have a large scale project and it takes state financing, or you have a smaller scale project, which could be local financing, the RDA would be the authority that would help your business obtain that funding and work through that process. And lastly, we have our Montgomery County Workforce Development Board, also named Monco Works, and they are a workforce development partner. They are also, their services are run by the PA Career Link, which I know you've all heard a couple of times today in this presentation. And they provide job seekers with career coaches and support to help them find a job in employment in Montgomery County. And they also work with employers to provide recruitment support and training support for whether it be yourself or your workers. They are an avenue to understand what training opportunities are out there for you and your workers. So our mission is simple but powerful. We work together every day with a wide network of partners and stakeholders to make Montgomery County the best place to live, work, learn, and invest. So here is our scope of services. I'm going to start at the right-hand side with economic development and go in a clockwise motion. But essentially, when I speak with businesses, this is really the wheel of connection that drives our conversation. So to start with, economic development financing tools, those conversations and resources range from getting set up with local banking institutions or CDFIs to start that relationship, all the way to teaching business owners about the public financing available to you from the state of Pennsylvania and nationally. But Pennsylvania has its own economic development loan programs called PETA to help folks find finance to obtain property, machinery and equipment, working capital. Or it could be using a local finance tool, our Monco Forward Loan, which can fund very similar projects. But here in Montgomery County, we are the facilitator and we administer those loan funds. Or it could be connecting you with the PA Catalyst Loan Fund, which exists to solely work with very, very small businesses, under 20 folks, under 10 employees. You could be an employee of one, maybe two. This is an option to help you find the capital you need to grow your business. The PA Catalyst Loan Fund is also, the intent for that program is to provide capital funding to women-owned, minority-owned, and veteran-owned businesses. So if you're out there and you're having trouble finding capital to grow your business, let's talk about the public financing options out there and see if they would work for what your project needs are. The next one is to connect with local county and government offices. A lot of times folks don't know who to go to, where they need to be to have a conversation. I have folks asking me, I want to do business with the county, right? Us as Montgomery County, we have to buy goods, we have to buy products, we need to obtain services to help us be run smoothly and successfully here. So a lot of times I share folks the Office of Procurement. That's where you find out how to do business with Montgomery County. So I'm able to help make those connections for folks. Another example is for anyone who's starting a food-based business. Here in Montgomery County, our Office of Public Health is the office that inspects and licenses your facilities. So I help folks make the connection to that staff to understand that process more clearly and what that takes. Even if it's locally, you're having a zoning issue, a permitting issue. We are the county. While we can't fix those problems necessarily, we can help aid in making conversation and connections to help make that hopefully go smoother for you and quicker for you. So really, if there's someone in the local government system or an entity that could be helpful in helping your business grow, we're here to help make that connection for you. You don't have to go out there and search for them yourself. Next, we have our site location and information. So here in the Commerce Department, we have our Monco Site Selection Program. And this program is available free of charge for businesses who are looking for commercial property within Montgomery County. We ask that you fill out an inquiry form of what you're looking for, And then we share it with our continuing growing network of real estate professionals to help field and find those properties that best fit in what your requirements are, and hopefully make a connection to help your business grow into a larger space. Next, we have our guidance and advice. I found with a lot more of the newer businesses, startups, I don't know where to go. I don't know who to talk to. Where are the resources at? Where's the grant money at? We can have those conversations too, sharing about who the local players are and what your situation is, whether it be connecting to other departments, whether it be connecting to folks like SCORE or the chambers. We can be an avenue for that so you can help get the guidance and advice you need to level up your business. Next, we have our redevelopment and remediation expertise. This is more so making connections to the RDA. We have businesses who have property and they need remediation assistance, whether it be a conversation of understanding the process and getting guidance, or connecting them to funding opportunities to help them remediate their land, build their business faster. And lastly, we have our workforce training and recruitment services. Those are done by our partner, PA CareerLink, here in Norristown. They work with job seekers to help them find gainful employment. And they also work with employers to help with their recruitment needs and training needs, whether it be the employer themselves or for their employees. They are the avenue to understand what training and recruitment opportunities are available to you as a business owner. Essentially, our goal is to help you meet you where you are and help you level up your business to whatever level that might be. So as you can tell from today's seminar, you can build your business alone, but it might not be the best route for you. And that's the same thing for us here in the Commerce Department. We don't serve you alone either. We partner with an incredible list of organizations to expand the reach of our services, including the list here. As you can see, we have SCORE on our list. We have the Chambers of Commerce. We have county departments, very similar to the other panelists on our seminar today. But we also can make connections to neighboring counties if you're looking to expand even outside of Montgomery County, if you're looking to work with nonprofits or understand what services and opportunities they have available for you. Even the Montgomery County Intermediate Unit and Community College, they have resources available for businesses, depending on what your industry is, to help you grow here in Montgomery County as well. If you're looking for technical assistance, capital connections, workforce help, or mentorship, we can connect you to the right partner. We also hold and participate in events that are great for learning and networking. I think one of the big themes of today's seminar is networking. And we too are a part of as many events as we possibly can to get ourselves out there so businesses understand who we are as a department and how we can help you grow. So in addition to seminars like today, we also have our Business Breakthrough Roundtable initiative. We just started that this year in 2025 here in the Commerce Department. So far, we've had 2 roundtable events that have provided an opportunity for businesses to come together, learn about resources, and talk with each other, ask questions, understand what's out there and available for them to grow their business here in Montgomery County. In April, we had a workforce development related business roundtable. And just yesterday, we actually had an immigrant-owned business roundtable convene. And thus far, they're going really well. And if you're ever interested in understanding what business roundtables we have coming up, please feel free to reach out to me. We'd love to have you a part of our distribution list so you can be in the know. We also do business walks with the commissioners. That's become more of a monthly basis. Our goal is to go to each municipality, which in Montgomery County, we have 62. So we're hopeful to stop in each municipality, meet with business owners, have meet and greets with the commissioners. All 3 of them love to get out and talk with business owners and meet with them and learn what they're doing and how they're growing here in Montgomery County. So if you're ever interested in maybe one of those meet and greet opportunities, please feel free to reach out to me. Would love to add you to the list as well. We also have our IDA breakfast. That's an opportunity for folks to come together, talk about what has happened in the year and what's to come, and learn more about the IDA. And then we also have, oh, sorry, sorry, Norm, we have a couple more. I skipped around a little. We also have our Careers of Tomorrow event, which is an expo in Oaks once a year, usually in October, for middle school and high school students to learn about the careers available to them once they leave school. We provide over 80 businesses usually, plenty of educational resources and institutions. And we've greeted over 1,000 students each year with this expo for them to learn more about what career pathways are available to them. And after they're done schooling, what is out there ready for them to gain employment. And lastly, very similar to what Pam said with the chambers, is we do job fairs. We work with business owners, we work with local partners to facilitate them around the county throughout the year. So if you're ever interested in participating in one or having one at your business, please let us know. We'd love to help you out with that. And finally, here's how you can reach me. Whether you need one-on-one support or you want to connect with one of our partners, I'm just an email away. Please feel to reach out anytime. Would love to chat with any one of you. Thanks for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kaylyn. Again, you've got just a huge wealth of benefits, opportunities, resources that you can serve up to our veterans on the webinar today. And thank you for taking it through it and providing some great detail around that. At the beginning of our webinar today, I put up some objectives, and it's going to be interesting to get feedback from our veterans who are on this call. And hopefully what you saw is we wanted to do two main things today through our 4 different groups, and that is show that there is a tremendous array of benefits, resources, opportunities that can be made available to you as veterans in Montgomery County and wanting to either open or grow a small business. And we also wanted to make sure that we gave you an opportunity to know how to reach and access each of these different groups. And as Charlie mentioned afterwards, we'll be providing this complete presentation to you after we get off the webinar, and it will contain all of the different names of people and ways in which you can contact them. But I think what we should do now, we've got some good time to answer questions that you brought forward. So Ed, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay.
Because I know you're keeping track of the questions that have been coming in.
We have some time for some questions, which is great. I'd like to start off with a question from Maureen. I actually have 2 questions for you. One is, why are veterans so successful as a group in owning small businesses? What has been your experience as far as that goes?
Why are they so successful as owning small businesses? I think it's a lot of their drive, their ability to operate in different environments, to overcome many obstacles. I think they've learned that. I think they also understand and trust systems and programs available to them in the networks. And I think they can leverage resources better than non-veterans because they've learned to trust the government and the availability and the resources that are available to them. But I also think it's their personal character. I think military values resonate when it comes into being a small business owner. I think you're not afraid to take chances, but they're calculated risks, and you tend to lean forward and figure out how to solve a problem. You don't need a lot of guidance, is what I would say.
Yeah, actually, you're right. In this day and age, in the military, they teach you that, actually.
Mhm.
Here's another one. I am a veteran, but have not participated in the B2B program. How do I register?
Yep. So I sent Charlie a link. There is a link you can go to the small business office, and they have these courses held throughout the country on many times. And there's also online courses available to you. So I sent a link with the Syracuse that has the B2B as well as the VYs and other ones, the bunker labs. There's many resources, and you don't need to have done it when you were on active duty.
Okay. I am registered with sam.gov. Is there any resources that can help you navigate the website as far as classes or something of that nature, requesting grants or bidding on contracts? Does
Norm,
that
you wanna
fit
take that
into your
one?
wheelhouse?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go for it, Maureen. Maureen, why don't you handle that one?
oh, okay. I didn't know if you wanted to. Yeah, you know what? When you go to sam.gov, it is very confusing. It takes a little bit of time. GovWin is very hard to get into to look at government contracts, but there are resources and organizations that can help you navigate the program. Going to the small business, the SBA first, and going to Boots to Business, those organizations and those classes actually teach that and help you learn how to go on and set up your company on those sites so that you can go after and look at government contracts. And when you go to those different courses, they actually have people available that you could talk to offline on how to go and sell yourself on GovWin, how to be a small business that has a bigger company going after contracts, how to be a subcontractor. So there's definitely things you need to learn before you take that jump. Make sure you talk to folks who have navigated that prior to you, and they can give you some good steps. But there's no paying for it. So when you go to sam.gov, different links sometimes pop up, but you don't have to pay. So you can just go to the SBA website and they'll help you. But you can call me and I can link you up with people as well.
Oh, great.
Norm, one thing I'd like to jump in here. Sometime either in July or August, the SCORE Mid-Atlantic region is going to be running a seminar run by the Apex Accelerator out of Kutztown. And they specialize in some of this contracting. So
Excellent.
while that hasn't been scheduled, keep your eyes on your mail from SCORE, because that will be showing up soon.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for handling that, Maureen.
Okay. Norm, actually, I have a question or two for you. Can a
Yes.
SCORE mentor help me access special small business funding for veterans?
Yes, indeed. And we've talked about that a little bit throughout the program. And it's our ability to work with different groups, including the SBA and others. And we can really be kind of a traffic cop. Something that's important for us to always disclose when we first start working with a client or a mentee is we will have people come in for the first time and say, can I get a SCORE new business loan? And the short answer is no, because we don't have any money. We're 10,000 volunteers. So we don't have the funding. What we have is the expertise to be able to guide our clients how to get that funding. And we've got several mentors within the Bucks County chapter who spent their entire careers in the banking and lending institution community and are really terrific advisors with those types of things. So the short answer is yes, Ed.
Okay. What types of, also for you, Norm, what types of resources in the SCORE Veterans Program are specific for veterans?
Yes, some of the ones that we went through today, I think, are very important. First of all, to some of the things that Maureen was talking about is understanding and helping veterans understand why they're, in many cases, fishing in the right pond, so to speak, by pursuing a small business. The training, the skill set, what character they've developed and possessed coming through the military is extremely helpful. So to have veterans providing that kind of counsel on these various tape webinars and so on that we have is really useful. One of the other ones was on marketing to veterans. There's another webinar that's kind of a fun one, and I never would have thought of this not being a veteran and having served. It talks about the fact that there's certain phrases and terms that are used as part of military speak. Maureen could help us with some of those that don't have the same meaning in the civilian world, and why it's important for someone who's a veteran starting up a small business to recognize when they're talking with customers or even with suppliers that they need to make sure they're communicating in civilian language, because that's what's going to be best understood. So there's a wide variety of those. There's some on special funding opportunities as well. And there's a total of 9 of those that are veteran-specific ed in the resource guide.
There's a third question for you, and then I'm going on to Pam. What is the quickest way for me to obtain a SCORE mentor? And I think our technical advisor, Charlie Morris, has put that in the chat, but if you want to just say briefly, Norm?
Yeah, and that is the quickest way to go in. The thing that I would encourage you to do is you're able to fill in information about yourself in terms of course, your name and your email address and your phone number and so on and so forth. But you're also able to put in what your objectives are. What are you looking to do? And one of the things I would really encourage you to do is to complete that section and include in it that you are a veteran. Because what we've got within our SCORE chapter is a group of people, many of them veterans themselves, who are particularly skilled and enjoy working with veterans as their clients. So please do mention that when you come in. And on the screen right now is the score.org Find a Mentor website that you can go to.
Right. Thank you. So Pam, I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Does your Chamber of Commerce have any special programs for veterans?
So the special program that we have primarily is based on our pricing. As a membership organization, our programs are available to all members, but we offer the discounted rate so that veteran businesses can get started at a lower cost. And then not necessarily specifically a benefit, but through our Veterans and Military Committee, it's an opportunity to help create programs that would be specific to support veterans. We've pretty much tried not to step on other resources that are out there, but to refer to organizations that are already providing the benefits and programs.
Here's one that's very interesting for you. As a veteran, would I be able to attend a chamber program to check it out before becoming a member?
Absolutely. Yes, we would love to have you. So if you wanted to check our website, it's chambergmc.org. And you can take a look at our calendar of events and then just give us a call and let us know that you'd like to come. And we would absolutely be happy to have you there.
Okay, great. So Kaylyn, what are examples of how your Commerce Department has helped veterans?
So this year, while we don't do we've historically not done most programming out of our office. We started the Veterans in Business this year, and we partnered with SCORE to facilitate that program. And it was pretty successful to the fact that we're talking about doing it again. And so I'm hoping it'll become an annual event or whatever the timing might be, but it's those type of events that we partner with and help facilitate that works with the veteran population.
Okay. And hold on. What types of information seem to be most helpful that you have provided to small businesses, small businesses, I guess, that open and grow in Montgomery County?
Sure. So usually the top resource I provide is the business consultation services. A lot of folks, I mean, if you're looking for financing, you need to have a business plan. You need to have projections. You need to have an understanding of what your markets are. So I am a big supporter of SCORE and our small business development centers to help get those businesses up and running in the right direction as quickly as possible, whatever that might be for them.
Okay, well, great. Well, we're right here at our appointed time. So first of all, I want to thank Norm and our 4 participants for an excellent set of presentations and for answering the questions. And everyone who's listened in will receive a copy of the presentation and the questions and answers. So thank you again for joining us. And I was going to say have a cooler day, but I'm not so about that.
Thank you.
Too bad.
Thank you.
Thank you.